I've just noticed that some of the screws on my bicycle need tightening. Like this is the handlebar. I only noticed that yesterday or the day before. It's now 3 months old or so, this bike, and yeah, things just need retightening. So these 2 screws, I need to do those. But also the brakes, so the cables have now extended just due to the constant pulling. So they need to be, you know, the barrel adjusters don't take up the slack. They really need to be shortened by a couple of millimeters. The blade, one of those things. One of those things. It's my catchphrase, isn't it? It's great. I never realized that until someone in the chat actually told me that. So very interesting. Chat, good topic. Yes. So another day, another dollar, as they say. Let's talk about the emotional side of not being able to stream and what that means to me. I thought that's an interesting component that I hadn't fully anticipated. So when I realized it wasn't working anymore for whatever reason, there's some kind of automation in me. I do have that. It's not a very positive thing in me that I have this automation, but I don't reach the conclusion that this is a temporary issue and it will be resolved and there's a solution and you'll overcome it. That's not what automatically happens in my brain. If something goes wrong, I always assume that this is going to be the state of things forever to come now. There's no, oh, this is a temporary glitch, give it a couple of days or a couple of weeks and you'll work it out. That is something that I need to tell myself. I need to make a conscious decision to do that, and that is difficult sometimes. Breaking any automation is very difficult. So that's what addiction is always problematic, because addiction is something like a behavior that you do so automatically that it's very difficult to break down that behavior and make a conscious effort and intervene the moment it happens. That's not easy for people to do. So in me, I have this automation that say streaming, oh, it's not working anymore. That's it. I can never do this again, ever. And that is then becoming reality. And that's difficult to overcome. And it's also difficult to realize that, of course, that is a message from my bullshit brain. That's probably not reality. There's 100 million options I have to make streaming work again, depending on how important it is for me to do that. So if I do nothing, then nothing will change. It's option number 1. Then there's several other things that I could try and get streaming up and running again in my current state of affairs. Oh, there we go. It's a phone call. Why am I getting a phone call? Is that important? I don't think it is. Spam caller, crazy stuff. So, I could literally, if you go totally to town with this, I could literally move. I can move to a different location, a different country where there's better internet connection so that I can stream again. If that's so important to me, there are options that I can pursue. In the simplest form, I could just change my internet provider. I could change every piece of equipment that I have and make that happen. So there are solutions. It's just that my brain doesn't automatically go there. I have to do this consciously. That's not always easy. And of course, that's just an example. I mean, we all have these little automatic reactions that are difficult to break. I guess that's where cognitive behavioral therapy helps you identify these patterns. But because I have this automation, which isn't great, I was imagining, well, what's it going to be like if I have to stop streaming for good? And I found that was an interesting place to go to. I never thought streaming is going to be something that would be part of my life. And I think when we say streaming, then what we really mean by that is not so much the technological side of making it happen, but the community interaction, the casual hangouts that we have globally that you normally would only have in like a small community if you have a meetup in the local pub. Like in Germany we have this thing called Stammtisch, and that is something that pubs do, that some day of the week you and your friends meet there at a particular time, drop by in a pub and you all get together, have a drink, have a chat. And you do that every week, and people are super anal about this, that they literally must not miss a meeting, and for them it's important because it's a social gathering, and that's what it's about. So like the Germans are, they're very efficient and they organize these things into club-like behavior, and that is what a Stammtisch is all about. My mom is fond of them. She goes there to meet her friends, and it's less about the drinking, it's more about the social gathering, and the lack thereof, that aspect of your life all of a sudden not happening. That's sad. That's really sad. So that's what that meant for me when I thought, oh, if the streaming thing is going to have to stop because there's a technological issue, I would find that very sad, because we've built such a nice community around the regular viewers that we have there, and also around the people who watch the stream after it's been live. So I can see that from the viewing figures, just as roughly I have about 10 live viewers on the day, and they come from all kinds of platforms. So it's Mixer, YouTube, Twitch, all of it combined. And then when I leave the stream up, within the next 48 hours, next 2-3 days, I get about next 24 to 48 hours, I get about 100 views in total on the streams. And sometimes they're more, sometimes they're less, but it's round about that figure, and that tells me that there is a lot of people watching the stream that are not watching live due to time constraints. Some people watch and they don't get interactive in the chat. That's all perfectly fine. But it tells me that there's around about 100 people that look forward to doing this, me included. I do like hanging out and fiddling with 3D things and working things out and having casual chats about this, that and the other. It doesn't have to be 3D related. It's literally anything and everything goes, and it's a nice, safe environment. And so thinking about the fact that were to stop, that was a very sad idea for me. I thought, hey, that'd be uncool. I mean, I've really grown used to meeting all of you on a regular basis, and it would be such a shame to lose that. And so yes, that had me quite sad and a little bit upset, and it's even doubly difficult to think about the fact that it's not one broken part that I can easily fix. I don't know what it is right now. It's things point to the modem, which has arrived earlier. I literally just saw the package. That's the driver left it downstairs. So when I took my bike out, I could see that it's there. And so I'll see if I can install that tonight. I have another day of work, so there's today, there's tomorrow, and then hopefully there'll be a little bit of testing. And I hope I can get this back up and running. So yes, that's the plan. If that doesn't work, that's difficult. I don't really want to think about that right now. I'm sure we'll find a way, now having thought about this for a couple of days, and also having made several conscious efforts to say, hey, the end doesn't always mean the end. I mean, case in point, my whole cancer story is just a great example of that. Doctor tells you that's it, we can't treat you anymore. You don't go and buy a gun at a shop, at a gun store. Even though I did consider it, I did not do it. It's maybe the first reaction that I thought is a good idea, but it's just one of many options. It's okay to explore that. But the more I explored letting go of the streams for good, the more I thought, nah, that's not really an option. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to stop streaming just because there's a technical difficulty in there. So we'll go and work this thing out. We're going to solve this, and soon I'm hoping I'm going to be back live. I mean, there's to a point that change your provider, use the Wi-Fi hotspot, that sort of thing, from your iPhone. All those things are possible. I've also tried streaming at a much lower bandwidth, so that is also possible, but it's still not stable. So I've tried literally the worst quality you can imagine, like 360 by 600 pixels or something. 340 by 600 is the lowest resolution I can do, with a frame rate of literally, 12 frames a second or something. It looks really not possible. So we could chat via text, but it's not something you can't see anything. You can't see the interface. You can't really see what I'm doing. That's not gonna help. So we're not going to do that. But yes, there's got to be a way to work this out. There's got to be a way to improve whatever upload issues I currently have. And as soon as I know how it's progressing, I'll let you know. Oh yeah, meanwhile, uploading these videos takes like 2 hours right now. So something is seriously amiss. Anyway, I will see you in another update.